Okay, today I'm going to be demonstrating a flow that will upload a recently downloaded file to Dropbox or Google Drive or whatever it is you choose. I am not going to do it tutorial style where I actually perform every step because I've tried to do this video like 50 times and I always goof something up and I can't stand editing videos. So you get to look at the finished product. If you want to see how to do these boxes, watch any one of my other videos. You tap on that, you tap on that, you select an action. That pretty much sums it up. There's your new box there. But that's the end of the tutorial section. So our trigger is File Observer. The help will tell you everything about File Observer you need to know, the different kinds of access that you can monitor, the supplied variables that it returns. The one we're dealing with is event. Okay, and we want this unwritable file closed because that is the event that happens when a file is completed downloading. And more on that later. You've got all these different event types that you can watch for. That's the only one that we need, though. So, after that happens, what we do immediately after that is set the flow state to disabled. The reason for that is that wonderful event that we're watching for happens like 20 times in rapid succession for some reason, right at the end of the download. So it tries to go through this flow 20 times if you don't set it to disabled right after it happens the first time. Next thing we do is sleep for 5 seconds to let it finish up any other file access things it may be doing on that file. I don't know if I really need the 5 seconds, but I like the 5 seconds there just in case. Next thing we do is, this is, let's see, initialize a variable which is file list. And the variable, the file list goes into the files variable. Right now I have the file pattern set to anything with an MP4 extension. You can leave it anything, but there's, in the case of what I do here, there's a temp folder created, I guess, every single time, so that becomes part of the list. And then you have to change which part of the list you work with. Include changes only. Might as well do that. Don't need to because I emptied out the folder for this example, but if that were checked, then the list would always have only one file in it because, well, I don't know, I guess you could download more than one file at a time. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and check it. Save. Next step is to isolate the file name. Now, what you get here in this initialize variable is, as it says, a list. So even though it only has one item in it, in this case, because of course like I said, I emptied out everything, we also check this box to include changed files only. So this would, in theory, only have one item in it ever. But just in case for some reason it doesn't, then we isolate the element 0 here with this little bit of script. Now, I don't know how to write these things myself. I know lots of people do. Let's suppose I wanted to have another function on here. Okay, so we'll add another line there. Like I said, I don't know very much of anything about Java, but that's where this comes in handy. Function. This has all of the different kinds of functions you could possibly want and tells what they do. In fact, I just happened to stop on the one I was using. This one tells you it returns the object at the specified index, which is 0-based, which is why if you go back here, this says 0. This is the index number, which is 0. It's the first one. It should be the only one, like I said. But, as I was saying, these functions, there's lots and lots of functions. You don't need to know a lot about them. If you don't want to sit here and read through these, you can filter. So, like the one I had was get element. So let's just say I want to do a quick search here and just do get. Well, that provides quite a few. So let's say I know that in advance, so I do element. Then I've got just a few, most of which are list oriented because element is what lists are made of. There's the one I was looking for, get element. So anyway, yeah, you don't need to know lots about programming. All you need to know is what you kind of want to do. I mean, if you're doing something with a file, I'm sure you can search for file and it'll give you lots of, okay, only 2. There must be some other terminology for stuff to do with the files. But as you can see, you can filter the functions and just click on one and it'll get inserted with the part highlighted that you have to replace with something applicable. Of course, I don't need that right now, so we're going to back that up and save that. Next comes the fun part, the Google Drive upload. It's a real simple to do. The help, of course, it says experimental, but tons of these functions say experimental, and they've always worked. This tells you all about how to use it. I didn't even need it because it was pretty simple. Basically, you just select your device account here. Your source files is going to be the variable that I defined back here in this script. File equals that first element. Yeah, so source files is going to be that file. Path on Google Drive is going to be stuff. And the progress is kind of unnecessary here since I'm doing small files just for these examples. And then last but not least, we re-enable this flow. So let's actually do a file upload and see how it works. First, I'll show you in Google Drive if it'll start. There's my stuff folder. There's nothing there. I had done one before, but as you can see, there is nothing now since it's refreshed. Go back, desktop. So we'll find a file. I've been using these just because they're short. So we hit the download button there, getting the information. Hit download. We'll zip back to Automagic and hopefully watch this work. Says it's done, but it must still be writing. There it goes. Doing the pause. Got the file upload starting up here. And then as soon as it's done, re-enables the Stop. See, I didn't make it wait long enough after the end of that. I don't know what it does, but like I said, it fires that unwritable file closed event quite a few times at the end. I'm sure by now it's safe to turn back on, but let's just leave it off for now just in case. Basically, I mean, if I wanted to negate that danger, I would take out that link and I would put in another sleep. Come on. I've got to. This is why I always just hit new. SLE. Simple. Okay, and we'll go ahead and let it sleep another 5 seconds. Reuse it. So we'll put that there. Make it all nice and neat. And then reconnect those. Okay, so there's another 5-second pause. We'll go ahead and do that. Okay, now, did it indeed upload that file? Let's check and see. Stuff folder. No items. Are you kidding? How about if we refresh? There it is. So, there you have it. It's about as simple as this kind of operation is going to get. Yeah. So, yeah, do this with Tasker. Do this with Tasker. Do it this easily with Tasker. This easily and this easy to debug. I mean, you could see every step as it was going through there. Yeah, this is why I love Automagic. It rocks. That's why. Thank you very much for watching.